Hey guys, what's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here, and I just finished watching WrestleMania Night 2, and I'm joined by Scooter, live and in person. Scooter, say what's up.
What's up?
All right. So, boy, we got a lot to talk about with that main event, but we're going to run through this card from start to finish, sort of like we did last night. Scooter will have to help me out with the order because my mind's fried.
I don't remember either.
I think the best match of the night. First of all, we got to talk about this. Overall, this show was a 5 out of 10. I think the whole weekend was a 5 out of 10. Scooter, what do you give it for a score? The whole night and then the whole weekend.
5.
So 5 sounds right.
Yeah.
It was a failure of a weekend. Night 1 was bad in the beginning and heated up and got better by the end. Night 2 was better in the beginning and then it went cold and got worse as it went on. That almost felt worse, actually. It was complete opposite. If you took the beginning or the beginning of Night 2 and combined it with the ending of Night 1, you would have had probably an 8 out of 10 WrestleMania. If you took the beginning of Night 1 and the ending of Night 2, you would have had probably a 2 out of 10 worst WrestleMania ever. So ultimately, it's a 5, which is failing. WWE has a lot to answer for. But we do have to start with the good note, which is the best match of the night, which was the opening match, in my opinion. Do you agree opening match was best?
Yeah.
Io Sky defeated Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I wanted Ripley to win. She lost. Scooter over here, he went 9-2 on his picks. I went 5-6. We discounted all matches that had substitutes. But anyway, you want to give your thoughts on the Io Sky match?
I thought it was good. You know, they all performed well and everything. But yeah, I had a feeling that it was going to go the way it did because Rhea and Bianca, they was too involved with each other, and Io was the third wheel, so they just forgot about her, and little Io just went in there and stole the victory.
Yep. Now, I might not remember the exact order that things happened. Fuck it, I don't know the exact order. But I'm just going to talk about what I remember right off. We'll do the main event last, though. I want to talk about Randy Orton's match versus Joe Hendry. Scooter over here popped when Hendry came out. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I'm not as plugged into TNA. But that RKO was a top 3 all-time RKO. It was the funniest RKO I've ever seen. So check that out. That was definitely a highlight. We'll get all the good shit out of the way first. But, yeah, Randy Orton won. Scooter, your thoughts?
I mean, they plugged Joe Henry in there because, I mean, he's popular. And, you know, the crowd popped for him, you know. But, yeah, that RKO, it was funny as shit. And you shit all over it until the RKO. Then after that, you was like, it's the best, you know.
I was laughing. Like, I literally was like, shitting all over Joe Hendry, and then the RKO happened, and I was completely amused by that. And I tell you what, I wish we were more high energy, but to be honest, the main event was so fucking bad that I've just lost all my passion, honestly, for this fucking WrestleMania. At least, you know, last night when the opener happened and Gunther tapped, I could get mad and angry and yell at something. I don't think I could even get mad or angry. When we get to the main event, I just got to talk about how stupid it was. But we got a little bit to go. Let's talk about that women's tag match. Let's get through it quickly because I really don't have much to say about it. Becky Lynch came back and won with Lyra over Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know. I like them being the tag champs. I didn't really like this decision. What do you think? You like the decision? Well, at least stick it to that.
I mean,
don't give a shit, do you?
It was just another case of Becky coming in and given the red carpet. She hasn't been on TV in a year and a half or whatever, and Bailey gets pulled, and then Becky takes her spot. So I really don't give a shit. It really doesn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, it was definitely the second half of the night for that when we were already not giving a shit. Logan Paul defeated AJ Styles. AJ Styles refused to use the brass knucks. That's a theme tonight where faces just refuse to use weapons that they should have used because their opponents use weapons. And, again, annoying way for that match to end. But I did pick Logan Paul. It was one of the only match tonight that Scooter got wrong. He only got one match wrong last night and one match wrong tonight. And so Logan Paul had the victory. So, Scooter, I got to ask, what went wrong here? Why'd you pick Styles?
I don't know, because I feel like AJ needed to win because he hasn't won in a long time, and
it's not working out for him, is it?
I should have just picked Logan. I should have known, but...
Same with Falk 2 over... If you had Falk 2 over LA Knight, then you would be undefeated.
Yeah, so... But it is what it is. I mean, so Logan, he's one hell of an athlete. He's a Triple H guy, so...
I like that. I like how much of a heel he actually is. He's a real heel. We got that Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental match. This match was actually not bad. It was a fun watch. Anytime you got like a Fatal 4-Way going on, there's a lot of action happening. So I actually thought this was probably the second best match of the night. What do you think? Second best?
I agree.
These multi-man matches with a little bit of train wreck going on were kind of good. And Dominic won. I thought maybe they'd give it to Penta, but I don't think Dominic winning's bad. There's talk maybe he's turning face. I don't know if that's the right move. But what do you think of the Fatal 4-Way, Scooter?
Well, that's what that's what I told you. I said I had a feeling that Dominic was going to win, and he was going to go in there and sneak out the victory, and he was going to pin Balor. I said that, and
you got it right.
It's him going face yet. I don't think he should. They should wait a little bit, but I do see the whole Judgment Day thing. It's either going to be Finn or Dominic's going to be kicked out.
Yeah. I definitely think this is a good move. I think this can move Braun Breaker up to the next level, maybe going for a world title soon. So I like it for everybody involved, actually. Finn can have a rivalry versus Dom. Penta still looks like a superstar, sort of, and they can maneuver him to keep winning and do better. So I think this made everybody look decent. Of course, it made Dom look good because he won the belt. But, and I appreciate Dom for the work he's put in. But, we got a few more matches and we'll get to the main event. Let's see, what are we missing here?
Drew McIntyre.
McIntyre over Damian Priest in a street fight. It was actually decent. It's one of the, it was earlier in the night. It was probably maybe the third best match on the show. I think if of all the matches that were going on for WrestleMania both nights, wouldn't you agree that Drew over Damian was the lock?
Yeah.
It was the lock of the weekend. Like, if you were going to put money on a match, this was the match to put money on. There was no way in hell Drew was losing.
No, this was the right call because Drew needed to win. I feel like Drew needed to win more than Damian because Drew, he's been in a slump and he's one of the bigger, he's one of the more bigger superstars, and they don't treat him. He's underutilized. Well,
they also don't treat Damian well too. He was a transitional champion. They're both not treated well. Both Damian and Drew. But Drew's clearly the better guy. He's clearly the better wrestler, the better entertainer. So I care more about what's going on with Drew than I do Damian, honestly.
Yeah.
But shit, what else we got? Because we do have a lot to say about the main event, but I'm trying to remember if there's any other matches we're forgetting about. Let's see, triple threat, fatal 4-way, Orton, Styles, Priest.
I think that was it.
The women's tag. Okay. All right, we could talk about the main event. Man, this is hard to say. That had to be one of the worst main events I ever seen in my life. Like, and I'll go for a little bit. I'm going to let Scooter over here take his turn. But I kept expecting this to heat up. I kept expecting this to get better. And at the very least, I expected the same amount of fuckery we got last year's in its main event to make it interesting. And we got nothing. Almost nothing. Like, it was a little bit of spammy with the AAs that Cena threw out on Cody. And Cody kept kicking out. And it's like, you almost expect it. But last year we had 7 people interfere in the match. 7 for Cody to end up retaining. And it didn't ruin the match to have all those people involved. You had both Uso brothers. You had Roman involved. You had Seth involved. You had The Rock involved. And you had Undertaker and Cena involved too. And it was epic. I expected at least 7 people to be involved. Maybe even 9 people to be involved. Guys, I kid you not. Spoiler alert if you hadn't already seen it. One single person got involved. One. Travis Scott. The Rock couldn't even be bothered to show up. I don't understand why The Rock was even in the story. I literally don't. He wasn't there. Travis Scott was there. And Cody lost in the weakest, most pathetic way. He could have hit Cena over the head. And I get it. He didn't want to cheat with the belt. Fine. But why do you have to stand there like a fucking idiot and take a low blow right to your nuts? When you clearly and obviously, if you're going to throw the belt out, why don't you start punching him? The whole time the match is going on, Cena's playing to the crowd. Cena clearly has lost a step or 2 or 3 since his prime because everything was so slow and plodding. And I figured, okay, at the very least, we are going to get people that come in that make it interesting. It's going to be a crazy finish, or Cody's going to have to go through hell to keep kicking out. It was a complete and total fucking nothing burger. And I couldn't be more disappointed. It may not be the worst main event of all time, but it is probably the most disappointing I've ever seen. As far as the main event for WrestleMania goes, I have to really think about it. It is the most disappointing I've ever seen. I've watched WrestleMania main events since WrestleMania 14. I'm not going before that because it was before my time. But I watched from 14 till now WrestleMania main events. Even on the double nights, this is probably the most disappointing main event of all time. Can you think of one that's more disappointing?
Bam Bam and Lawrence Taylor.
That's before. I didn't even count that one because it's way before. It's before my time. Maybe you were watching. In any recent memory, the last 20 years, 25 years, anything that's more disappointing than this for a main event. I know a lot of people didn't like Triple H and Orton in 25 because it had to follow up Shawn and Undertaker. But that's not really their fault. That's not really disappointing for that reason.
I was expecting more out of this match.
A lot more, right?
I think everybody was expecting more. Of course, we thought it wouldn't pair up to par up to last year's. Of course, we didn't think that, but we thought that it would at least be entertaining.
It felt like to me about 15, 20 minutes was missing. Because they ended at
they had
15 minutes left.
There towards the end, whenever it was over, and then they came on, and he was like, "Oh, it's not finished." That was another 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like there's so much more that could have happened.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know.
Did they just not have anybody that they could throw in the storyline to help Cena?
Well, I mean, after last night, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Seth came out there and helped Cena.
That would have been so much better.
But it didn't happen. I mean, we still get that, but it should have happened. I understand they didn't want to blow their load all in one, but at this point, they should have done something.
I mean, you're at night 2 of the main event of WrestleMania. Think about all the struggle Cody went through to win this belt versus Roman. And every single thing that he did, they just took a big old fucking shit all over it.
Well, I can say this much. This is the worst Cody match since he's been back in WWE.
Yeah, and I feel like that's not his fault. I feel like that has more to do with Cena than anything. You can only work, as good as your partner works in the ring. But I gotta say, man, this crowd pissed me the fuck off big time. Like, why are we turning on Cody instantly? For what reason? Do you have any reason possible why they turned on Cody other than them they're just being dumbasses and assholes?
Well, I even asked you before the match. I said, "Do you see them booing Cody?" You said no.
And then I quickly seen they were, and I'm like, why are we booing Cody? Why? Everything feels fucking ruined. Like, every single thing that they've done the last 3 years when it comes to The Rock and Roman and Cody and all this story that's gone on that they leave and they come back to for WrestleMania season, it's completely fucking ruined. And I wish we knew, what the fuck is The Rock doing right now that's so fucking important that he couldn't be at WrestleMania to finish out this storyline? Then why even involve him? Cena could have turned heel at any point without The Rock. What, the third man, there was not even one man. There's like Travis Scott and that's it. What the fuck are we doing? What is Triple H thinking with this creative? I don't get it. You have any explanation? I mean, this is an embarrassment, isn't it?
Well, honestly, I don't even want to see The Rock involved in this storyline anymore.
I don't want to see... I'll be honest, I'm so fucking irritated. Like, me and Scooter had a lot of shows planned out where maybe we're covering SummerSlam, we're covering this event, we're covering that. I'm so fucking irritated. I don't even know if I'm going to cover wrestling on this channel anymore. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I really, really feel like the fans just got a shit taken on their faces by creative here. Like, this actually makes the Gunther tapping out look good. This makes the Gunther tapping out look good. Because at least you're doing something. This was so... Like, it would have been so much better. I almost want to say this ruined Cena's heel turn altogether. I almost rather Cena has stayed face and won the belt through a struggle and won it and had a tearful moment with the fans that love him than this bullshit. I'm at a loss for words, man. It's so fucking bad. Like, I want to just give it a worse score just because the main event's so fucking... The main event's a 0. Okay, the main event itself is a 0. The main event in night 1, it was like a 9. Just the main events. Man, I'm so fucking disappointed. As a fan, this makes me want to just tune out and tune off. And I think I'm going to. Maybe I'll see highlights here and there on Raw about Cena, But I've about had it, honestly. This was like a straw that broke the camel's back for me. I'm sick to my stomach. You got any final thoughts? I'm done. Can they save this, or is it just ruined?
It's going to take something incredible for it to be saved.
I don't think it can be.
And you know me. You know, I usually shit on the shit you say.
You're more positive than I am on this stuff, usually. The look on your face when I was joking when I turned to you and said, oh, watch that be the pin. And then it was the fucking pin. It's one of these moments like where you're watching a pay-per-view and you don't expect that to be the ending. And then when it is, it's like it leaves you feeling empty.
It's just nonsensical.
Like I've been sober for like 6 years, and this makes me want to just drink. Like this makes me feel depressed, legitimately depressed. Like I don't want to watch a wrestling show and after it's over feel depressed. I don't feel depressed because the bad guy won. I feel depressed because I'm legitimately disappointed. This is like getting socks on Christmas Day.
Well, I tell you, what's bad is I would rather watch the main event I watched on GCW last night. The fucking main event was Joey fucking Janela versus Sabu, a fucking 70-year-old man in a barbed wire match.
Yeah.
And that match was way more entertaining than this fucking match.
And by the way, for those of you that might think, well, my expectations were too high or whatever, you know, we are talking about John Cena breaking the all-time record for championships in the main event of WrestleMania, in his last WrestleMania. I mean, yes, the expectations are supposed to be high. Like, you people need standards. If you think this is good, get some fucking standards in your life. But look, even that being the case, I told Scooter in private, and he could confirm this. I said there's no way it's better than last year, but can it be close? Can it be good? Can it be like in the ballpark at least? It wasn't even in the fucking same stratosphere. He thinks I'm crazy because I think WrestleMania 40's main event last year is one of the greatest matches I ever seen because of the magnitude of the moment. And this is nothing. This is just flat nothing. This is like one of the worst championship matches I ever seen. Like, this is worse than the Brock Lesnar 16 suplex match on Cena one time. At least if something like that would have happened, it was like a John Cena 16 AA match, it would have been weird and interesting.
Okay, now you're okay.
No, I'm being honest.
It's not as bad as fucking Randy Orton and fucking Jinder Mahal in the Punjabi prison match.
It's worse, and here's why. There's no expectations. There's no expectations for a Jinder Mahal Punjabi prison match.
Okay, but the thing is, you fucking got your shoes on when the Great Khali came out and fucking interfered in the match.
I did, but you know what? There was no expectations there. Like, at best, you're like, oh, maybe this could just be a good 7 out of 10 match. This is WrestleMania main event. This is Cody Rhodes. This is John Cena going for number 17. This is John Cena turning heel. This is his final WrestleMania. And the best you got for us is Travis Scott pulls the ref out of the ring, and then Cody refuses to hit John with the belt. John low blows him, hits him with the belt, and then after a few seconds, the ref comes back in, and it's 1, 2, 3. Come on! Are you trying to tank your product?
It was anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic is the bare minimum of what we've seen. That feels like it's almost on purposely bad. That's almost like it's on purpose, like it's comically bad.
Look, it's like, honestly, it's like John Cena he don't care. That's how I felt.
If he don't care, he should have never come back. Dude, I'm telling you now, CM Punk and Cody would have been more entertaining. Face John Cena versus face Cody would be more entertaining. Legitimately, Cody retaining would have been more entertaining. Something else besides this. This ain't it. This does not cut it. This is not good. This is no way. I see you looking at JD on YouTube right there. What does his title say? Incredible? Does it say incredible match? You got to click on it. So we see the whole title.
Well, it don't give the...
Because I'm looking right now at another YouTuber with an incredibly terrible... Okay, so... Yeah, this is going to get shit on. I'm not the only one. Guys, I don't have anything else to say. I can't get fired up about this. I just can't. Like, there's getting fired up, about stupid things. And then there's dealing with this. And it's just like, this is like losing $200 out of your wallet. You know what I mean? I'm done, guys. Like, I don't know if we'll do wrestling content in the future. I've been a fan that's dipped in and out the last decade plus, honestly. And this makes me just totally turned off. You know what I mean? Like, just totally not interested in what they're doing.
Yeah, this is about as bad as you get this incredibly hot chick and you go down on her and then she smells.
All right. We're cutting it there. Comment down below what you thought. I mean, ultimately, I guess the big takeaway from this whole weekend is at least Seth Rollins turned heel. But I mean, I feel like I want a fucking refund if I.
Well, imagine if this pay-per-view was like back in the day, you had to pay $60.
No. Oh. Nope. All right, I'm out.